By the time you reach your 70s or 80s, your legs might not carry you the way they used to. Climbing stairs feels steeper. Walking across the room takes longer. And after just a few minutes on your feet, your calves ache with a fatigue that wasn't there before. You might think this is just aging, that your muscles are getting weaker because of time. But what if I told you the real culprit could be hiding in your fruit bowl? Yes, fruit. Sweet, colorful, and seemingly innocent. The very thing we've been told our entire lives is the picture of health. But here's the shocking truth. Certain fruits, especially when eaten frequently by seniors, can quietly sabotage your legs. They inflame your joints, disrupt your blood flow, drain your energy, and in some cases worsen the very conditions you're trying to avoid, like arthritis, neuropathy, or chronic swelling. These aren't exotic or rare fruits either. They're likely ones you eat every week, maybe even every day. Because here's what almost no one tells you. Your body processes fruit differently after 60. Your metabolism slows, your insulin sensitivity decreases, and your muscles and joints become more vulnerable to inflammation and circulatory stress. And when you add certain fruits to that equation, the result isn't nourishment, it's weakness. That's why today, we're going to expose the 7 worst fruits that could be destroying your leg strength, one bite at a time. You'll learn exactly why they cause harm, how the effects often go unnoticed until it's too late, and what symptoms you might already be experiencing that trace back to these so-called healthy foods. But don't worry, by the end, I'll also show you the fruits that heal, not hurt. The ones that nourish your legs, calm inflammation, and bring power back into every step you take. What if the very fruit you eat each morning with love and trust is the reason walking feels harder, your knees swell, and you no longer feel steady on your feet? Before we dive into the list, take 1 second to like this post, share it with someone you care about, and hit subscribe for more powerful, science-based tips made specifically for people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. This journey isn't just about removing what's harmful, it's about reclaiming the strength you deserve. Let's begin. It's sweet, juicy, and often considered a digestive aid, but pineapple may not be the friend to your legs that you think it is. For many seniors, pineapple is a regular treat, praised for its enzyme bromelain and vibrant tropical taste. Yet beneath that bright sweetness lies a dangerous combination of high natural sugars and acidic compounds, and together they can quietly erode the very strength you rely on to stay mobile. As your body ages, it becomes more sensitive to sugar and acid, even the natural kinds. And pineapple, unfortunately, is loaded with both. When you consume it regularly, the sugars cause sharp blood sugar spikes that damage tiny blood vessels, especially those in your lower limbs. These capillaries are responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to your leg muscles. Over time, their weakening leads to slower recovery, chronic fatigue in the calves, and even a loss of balance. But that's not all. Pineapple's high acidity worsens inflammation in the joints, particularly in those already struggling with arthritis or joint stiffness. What starts as a subtle ache in your knees after walking can slowly become persistent discomfort that limits your range of motion. Many people think their growing joint pain is just aging, when in fact, it's the daily pineapple slices acting like fuel to a fire. Even more concerning is the interaction between bromelain and common medications. If you take blood thinners or anti-inflammatories, which many older adults do, pineapple can amplify their effects, leading to increased bruising, swelling, and an unsettling sense of weakness in the legs. It doesn't happen all at once, and that's what makes it dangerous. One slice here, a few chunks with breakfast, a fruit salad at night. Slowly, the strength drains away. So next time you see a pineapple waiting in your kitchen, don't just think about its sweetness. Ask yourself what it's really doing inside your body, and whether the taste is worth the risk to your independence. And pineapple is just the beginning. If this everyday tropical fruit can do so much damage, what about the one we've always believed to be the king of muscle health, the humble banana? Stick with me, because what comes next might shock you even more. For decades, bananas have enjoyed a golden reputation: soft, portable, easy to digest, and packed with potassium. They've become the poster fruit for muscle support and post-exercise recovery, especially among seniors, a banana a day seems like a harmless, even helpful routine. But as we age, what once nourished us can quietly become a source of strain, and bananas may be the most deceptive of them all. The issue begins with how the aging body processes sugar. Ripe bananas are rich in fast-absorbing carbohydrates that convert quickly into glucose, flooding the bloodstream with a sharp sugar spike. In younger bodies, this surge might be balanced by efficient insulin response and rapid energy use. But after 60, insulin sensitivity declines, and those sugars linger longer. That means more inflammation, more oxidative stress, and a subtle yet steady weakening of the legs. Your calves tire more quickly, your feet swell more often, your recovery from walking or standing takes longer than it should. And if bananas are a daily habit, these symptoms can quietly worsen week by week. Beyond the sugar load, bananas may also promote water retention, especially for those managing heart conditions or high blood pressure. The result? Swollen ankles, heavy feet, and that all too familiar sense of being slowed down. What many seniors interpret as just fatigue or normal aging is sometimes the side effect of what they've been told is a health food. The potassium in bananas is real and important, but it comes at a price if the rest of the fruit's content works against your body's ability to process it properly. Worse still, most people overeat bananas because of how convenient they are. One in the morning, one after lunch, maybe another as a snack. That's a triple shot of sugar and starch that a senior's metabolism simply wasn't designed to handle every single day. If you find your legs feeling sluggish after meals, if your lower body seems slow to respond, or if your energy dips instead of rising after a snack, it might be time to take a hard look at the yellow fruit you've trusted for so long. Bananas are not inherently evil, but for aging bodies, they can become a daily trigger for inflammation, fluid retention, and muscle fatigue that undermines your strength from the inside out. If bananas, a fruit we've trusted for decades, can quietly drain our leg strength, what about grapes, those tiny, sweet, innocent treats we pop without thinking? Let's peel back the truth in the next section, and it might just change the way you snack forever. They're small, sweet, and irresistibly easy to snack on. Grapes often sit in our kitchens like little jewels, soft, seedless, and refreshing. To many seniors, they feel like the perfect, healthy treat, low effort, high enjoyment. But hidden beneath that juicy surface is a metabolic landmine that could be silently inflaming your joints, draining your leg strength, and disrupting the comfort you've worked so hard to preserve. The danger with grapes lies in their high concentration of fructose, a form of natural sugar that's metabolized differently than glucose. While glucose fuels your muscles, fructose heads straight to your liver, where it's more likely to be stored as fat or converted into uric acid. And that's where the trouble begins. When uric acid builds up in the body, it can settle in the joints, particularly in the knees, ankles, and toes, creating stiffness, swelling, and in many cases, agonizing flare-ups of gout. For seniors with already sensitive joints, a small handful of grapes a day can quietly increase this risk without warning. Even beyond gout, fructose is a powerful pro-inflammatory compound. In aging bodies where the inflammation baseline is already elevated due to conditions like arthritis or poor circulation, grapes act like fuel to an already simmering fire. You might not feel it right away, but over time, signs appear. Your knees creak more loudly, your calves feel heavier, your walking speed slows, not from age alone, but from internal inflammation your body is struggling to control. What makes grapes especially tricky is their size and convenience. You don't eat just one, a handful with breakfast, a bowl while watching TV, a few more as you pass by the fridge. Before you know it, you've consumed dozens and all the fructose that comes with them. For seniors with slower metabolisms and diminished ability to manage blood sugar, that adds up fast, and the consequences land right in your legs. It's also easy to overlook grapes because they're often associated with heart health, thanks to antioxidants like resveratrol. But those benefits are usually found in the skin of darker grapes and are vastly overshadowed by the sheer sugar load when consumed in large amounts. Especially if you're not pairing them with fiber, fat, or protein to slow down absorption, grapes act more like candy than fruit. So next time you reach into the fridge and grab a handful of grapes, remember, sweetness does not always equal safety. And when it comes to leg strength, what feels light and harmless may be what's quietly pulling you down. If grapes, those tiny, wholesome-seeming snacks, can trigger such powerful inflammation, what about fruits that seem even more innocent, like watermelon? It's mostly water, right? But you'll want to hear what happens when that sugar-soaked slice hits your bloodstream. Let's dive in next. Few fruits evoke comfort and nostalgia quite like watermelon. It reminds us of summer days, picnics, and the joy of a cool, juicy bite on a hot afternoon. For many seniors, watermelon feels like the perfect fruit, hydrating, easy to chew, and light on the stomach. But underneath that refreshing facade lies a metabolic trickster. Because while watermelon may taste like water, inside your body, it behaves more like sugar. Watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any fruit, meaning it causes a sharp, fast spike in blood sugar after consumption. For seniors, especially those with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or reduced insulin sensitivity, this spike can be both immediate and dangerous. It leads to a cascade of metabolic reactions, oxidative stress, fluid retention, and most notably, inflammation that targets the very areas aging bodies struggle to protect: the legs, joints, and feet. You might not connect a slice of watermelon with the aching you feel in your calves after a walk, or the way your ankles swell during the day. But that spike in sugar leads to a spike in insulin, and insulin tells the body to retain fluid. That fluid settles in soft tissues, most often in the lower extremities. It makes your legs feel heavy, your shoes tighter, your balance more unstable. And over time, repeated inflammation damages the blood vessels and nerves that serve your legs, weakening your ability to move freely. Another reason watermelon is so deceptive is its portion size. People rarely eat just 1 or 2 bites. A bowl turns into 2, a few cubes become a full plate. And because it's so water-rich and light in texture, it gives the illusion of being harmless. But the metabolic load, the impact on your blood sugar and inflammation pathways, is very real. To make matters worse, for seniors who are already experiencing neuropathy or joint degeneration, watermelon can amplify those symptoms. Tingling, fatigue, even nighttime leg cramps can be made worse by sugar-induced inflammation. And while the damage may not be obvious at first, the cumulative effect builds silently, day after day, slice after slice. So next time you see that vibrant red flesh calling your name from the fridge, pause. Ask yourself not just how it tastes, but how it makes you feel later. Do your legs feel heavier? Is your energy lower? Do your joints ache more than usual? If the answer is yes, watermelon may not be the cooling companion it once was. Watermelon might be flooding your system with more than hydration. It could be quietly inflaming your legs from the inside out. But what about oranges, the classic symbol of health and vitamin C? That morning glass of juice might be doing more damage than you think. Let's uncover the acidic truth next. For generations, oranges have been viewed as the gold standard of healthy fruit. Packed with vitamin C, praised for immune support, and almost always found on a senior's breakfast table, especially in the form of juice, oranges seem like a safe, refreshing, and smart choice. But here's a question few ever ask. What happens when the very fruit you believe is helping your health is actually worsening your pain, stiffness, and leg strength? As we age, our joints become more vulnerable to wear and inflammation. And oranges, particularly in excess, contain 2 compounds that quietly work against aging legs: citric acid and natural sugars. While citric acid gives oranges their familiar tang, it also increases acidity in the body, which can aggravate inflamed joints. If you already deal with arthritis, bursitis, or age-related cartilage thinning, the acid doesn't soothe, it scrapes. That morning stiffness in your knees, that sharp hip pain when you stand, the way your legs feel locked after sitting, these aren't always just age. They're often a reaction to hidden dietary irritants. And for many seniors, oranges top that list. But that's not all. Orange juice in particular is even more harmful. Stripped of fiber and condensed into liquid form, a small glass can deliver as much sugar as a soda, and it absorbs into the bloodstream even faster. The result? Blood sugar spikes, systemic inflammation, and a quiet assault on the muscles and nerves that support balance, walking, and strength. You may start to notice your legs don't move as fluidly. Your steps feel more labored. Your energy dips right after breakfast. It's not just your morning routine, it's what's in your cup. And because oranges are so familiar, we rarely question them. But for a body over 60, metabolically slower and already battling inflammatory processes, that sweet citrus becomes less of a support and more of a strain. Especially when paired with medications or other acid-forming foods, oranges can tip your system into a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. The kind that wears down cartilage, stiffens tendons, and leaves your joints sore and swollen before the day even begins. It's not about blaming the fruit, it's about understanding your body's new rules. What served you well in your 40s may not serve you now, and while oranges may still have a place in your diet, they no longer deserve a daily, unquestioned role in your morning ritual. If oranges, once the hero of your breakfast, are now quietly accelerating your joint decline, what about green apples? Crisp, tart, and seemingly healthier than their sweeter cousins, they might be hiding a surprising source of internal leg pain. Let's explore why next. Green apples have long carried the image of discipline and health, the crisp, tart alternative to their sweeter red cousins. For many seniors aiming to control their sugar intake or manage weight, green apples seem like a smart, responsible choice. But under that fresh, shiny surface lies a combination of compounds that, when consumed frequently, can quietly inflame your legs, stiffen your joints, and drain the strength from your lower body. The first culprit is malic acid, a natural compound found in high concentrations in green apples. While in small amounts, it may support energy metabolism. For aging bodies with sensitive joints and slower digestion, it can act as a low-grade irritant. Seniors with arthritis, fibromyalgia, or general joint discomfort may find that regular consumption of green apples triggers subtle flare-ups. The stiffness you feel in your knees when getting out of bed, the dull ache in your thighs after standing too long, or that mysterious burning sensation in your calves. All of it may be tied to acid-based inflammation coming from a fruit you thought was safe. Then there's the sugar. While green apples are often promoted as lower in sugar than red ones, they still contain natural sugars that, in an older body with reduced insulin sensitivity, can spike blood glucose levels and disrupt circulation. These fluctuations in blood sugar may seem harmless at first, but they reduce oxygen delivery to leg muscles, slow down recovery after movement, and increase fatigue even after light activity. That walk around the block that once energized you now leaves your legs feeling drained. The stairs you used to climb easily now demand more effort. The culprit? Perhaps that green apple snack eaten alone on an empty stomach. What's more, the acidic profile of green apples can stress the digestive system when consumed without buffering foods like fat, fiber, or protein. This not only increases gastrointestinal discomfort, but can also trigger an inflammatory response that travels beyond the gut into your hips, knees, and lower limbs. You may not connect your daily apple habit to your nightly leg cramps or morning ankle stiffness, but your body does, and it whispers the warning through pain. It's easy to fall for the image of a green apple as a cleansing, fat-burning superfood. But as with all things in aging, context matters. What nourished you in your youth might now be provoking the very symptoms you're trying to avoid. Especially when eaten frequently or without support from other nutrients, green apples can become yet another hidden source of leg discomfort that erodes strength over time. If even the crisp tartness of a green apple can quietly erode leg strength, what about tropical fruits? Sweet, fragrant, and indulgent. In the next section, we'll reveal the surprising truth behind mangoes and why that golden slice may be feeding inflammation rather than vitality. There's something almost magical about a ripe mango. Its vibrant golden flesh, the floral sweetness that lingers on your tongue, and the way it instantly transports you to warmer days and fond memories. For many seniors, mango is more than just a fruit. It's comfort, nostalgia, and a treat they feel they've earned. But behind that tropical pleasure lies one of the most dangerous sugar payloads in the fruit kingdom, one that can wreak havoc on your legs, joints, and nerves in ways that accumulate slowly and silently. One medium-sized mango can contain more than 45 grams of natural sugar. That's more than a can of soda. And while it's natural sugar, your body doesn't care. For seniors whose insulin response has slowed, whose cells don't absorb glucose as efficiently, and whose organs are already working harder with age, that sugar spike becomes a serious internal stressor. The bloodstream floods with glucose, triggering inflammation across soft tissues, especially in the areas most vulnerable: the knees, ankles, hips, and feet. This inflammation leads to a creeping heaviness in the legs, swelling that makes shoes feel tight, and muscular fatigue that sets in far too quickly, even after minimal activity. But it doesn't stop there. For seniors managing diabetes or even early stages of neuropathy, mango's sugar load can aggravate nerve endings. That tingling in your toes at night, the dull burning in the balls of your feet, or the sudden weakness you feel when climbing stairs. These may not be just symptoms of aging. They may be your nervous system reacting to sugar-induced inflammation, a response that is intensified when the body lacks the resilience of youth. And perhaps most dangerously, mango lulls you into overindulgence. Its creamy texture and refreshing taste make it easy to eat more than one serving without thinking, especially when blended into smoothies or paired with other sweet fruits. But every extra slice pushes your system deeper into an inflammatory state. The joy you feel in the moment is often paid back later, in stiffness, in soreness, in that slow loss of balance and mobility that chips away at independence. None of this means mango must be completely banned, but it does mean that for aging bodies, moderation is no longer optional, it's essential. A small slice, occasionally, paired with a high-fiber meal and balanced with protein or healthy fat, that's a treat. But daily mango smoothies, tropical fruit bowls, or post-dinner indulgences, that's a sugar bomb waiting to detonate inside your legs. So if these 7 popular fruits, from bananas to mangoes, have been quietly draining your strength, what should you eat instead? In the next section, we'll explore the fruits that heal rather than harm, the ones that support your legs, soothe inflammation, and bring energy back to your every step. After learning about the 7 common fruits that could be draining your strength, you might feel discouraged or even betrayed. But here's the empowering truth: not all fruits are your enemies. In fact, some are your greatest allies, packed with antioxidants, low in sugar, and rich in compounds that soothe inflammation, improve circulation, and help rebuild the vitality in your legs from the inside out. Let's begin with the quiet champions of fruit: berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. These small but mighty gems are loaded with anthocyanins and flavonoids that directly reduce oxidative stress and protect blood vessels. Unlike high-sugar fruits, berries provide sweetness without the crash. They stabilize blood sugar, strengthen capillaries that feed your leg muscles, and reduce stiffness in joints, making every step feel smoother and lighter. Incorporating berries into breakfast, snacks, or smoothies offers a daily dose of leg-friendly nutrition. Cherries, though often overlooked, deserve a place on your plate, especially if you struggle with gout or arthritis. Rich in compounds that lower uric acid, cherries can help prevent flare-ups that lead to swelling in the knees, ankles, or feet. A small serving a few times a week, fresh or frozen, can act as a natural anti-inflammatory, reducing the kind of deep joint discomfort that disrupts your balance and walking. Then there's the underestimated avocado. While not sweet in the traditional sense, avocado is a fruit, and a powerful one at that. Packed with healthy monounsaturated fats, it nourishes the joints, cushions connective tissues, and helps reduce systemic inflammation that wears down your leg muscles over time. Even better, avocados help regulate insulin, supporting more stable blood sugar and preventing energy dips that leave your legs dragging. Papaya offers another gentle, restorative option. Its soft texture is perfect for aging digestion, while its enzymes, especially papain, support muscle recovery and ease inflammation. Seniors who add papaya to their routine often find that joint stiffness lessens, especially in the mornings, and that their gut health improves too, which supports better nutrient absorption for muscle and nerve function. Pears also belong in this healing fruit circle. When paired with fiber-rich foods or healthy fats, they provide slow-releasing energy that supports leg endurance. Their mild sweetness doesn't spike insulin, and their hydration content makes them perfect for staying energized and mobile without bloating or sugar crashes. These fruits don't just nourish your body, they support your independence. Every berry, every cherry, every creamy slice of avocado is a vote for stronger legs, better posture, steadier balance, and a life lived on your feet, not from the sidelines. You don't need to fear fruit. You just need to choose wisely and listen to how your body responds. Now that you know which fruits support your legs and which ones quietly harm them, there's one more lesson to take home, a message from one senior to another. Because the most powerful changes often come not from information alone, but from reflection, clarity, and the wisdom of experience. Let's finish this journey together in the final thoughts ahead. If you've come with me through this journey, from discovering the fruits that silently erode your leg strength to uncovering the ones that restore it, then allow me this final moment, not as a narrator, but as someone who walks the same road you do. We are not just bodies growing older. We are souls with stories, with wisdom, with countless steps behind us, and hopefully many still ahead. Aging isn't a punishment, it's a profound invitation to live more intentionally. We don't have the same resilience we once did, but what we do have is awareness. And awareness is power. The aches in your knees, the fatigue in your calves, the stiffness in your steps, these are not random. They are signals, they are messages, and most importantly, they are not the end of your story. When you change what you feed your body, you change how it moves, how it heals, how it shows up for you. Choosing fruits that reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and nourish your muscles is not just a diet change, it's a declaration that you are not giving up, that your steps still matter, that you still have places to go, people to love, memories to create. If today's lesson leaves you feeling a little overwhelmed, remember this. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. Start small. Swap one fruit. Listen to your body. Observe what makes your legs feel stronger and what leaves you heavy. Aging isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most, with clarity and kindness. And perhaps most importantly, forgive yourself. You didn't know what you didn't know. You weren't wrong to trust the fruits you were taught were healthy, but now you know better. Now you can choose better. Not out of fear, but out of respect. For your body, for your legs, for your life. So to the senior reading this, who has loved, lost, learned, and kept going, I say this: you deserve to rise without pain. You deserve to walk with steadiness. You deserve to live with vitality, not just age with grace. Protect your legs, protect your strength. Because those two things carry not just your body, they carry your freedom. Here's to living not just longer, but stronger. Beginning now, with every mindful, beautiful bite. If today's journey has helped you see fruit and your health in a new light, not with fear, but with clarity and care, then I'm grateful we crossed paths. I invite you to leave a comment below. Share one insight that resonated with you or one small change you're ready to make. Maybe it's replacing a fruit. Maybe it's listening more closely to what your legs are telling you. Whatever it is, your step matters. And if you found this content helpful, please like this video, share it with someone you care about, a fellow senior walking this same road. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss more gentle, powerful health guidance made just for you. You are not alone. We are walking forward together, one stronger step at a time.